Yeah, everything is good.
Yes, Ravi, yes.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
good.
So now shall I continue?
Yes,
Okay.
please, yes.
Yeah. So now let's understand the what is that. Let's understand our what security flow working flow as a theoretically again, right? Again, because if this picture is there inside you, you guys can able to develop. There is no need to anyone, right? So security filter security filter works, right? Works flow explanation, right? Security filter works flow explanation. Now come here what we are doing now. HTTP request comes from what? Comes with what is that? One token authorization, friends, right? Here what is that? Security comes with what is that? Authorization, right? So what we will do it now, we need to read that is token from the header, right? In the HTTP, we need to read that token from the HTTP header section, right? Come on. Hmm?
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah. So here what is that? Http request http request comes with what? Comes with what? One token, na? Come on. One token. one
Yes, Ravi.
token one token as a what is that? What is the token? Authentication. Sorry, authorization, right? Authorization. One authorization. What we will do it now, we need to read, right? We need to read that. We need to read that token. We need to read that token from what? http request. Http request http request head section. Head section, right? Head section. After then what? After then next, after reading that from the head section, what we need to do? We need to communicate with what? JWT util, right? Class. And provide token as a input, and provide token as an input to whom? JWT class, right? We need what is that? Communicate with what? Communicate with what is that? JWT util. JWT util class and what? Provide token as what? Input. Provide token as a input, right? Input. So after then what we will do it now, we will take the help of what is that? JWT helper and provide the subject by what is that? Valid token, right? Again what we will take it now, we will take the help of what is that? JWT helper. Control Shift T. JWT helper, right? JWT helper interface, right? We'll take the help of what? JWT helper interface. And what we will do it now? What we will do it now, friends? We will provide that what is that? Subject. We will provide the subject as a username, and by validating the token. By validating the token now. Okay, good. So JWT helper provide subject, right? Subject. You want to see that? Who is this? Becoming romantic, huh? Where that? Okay, it is not showing, right? We will take the help of JWT helper, and here only we will provide the username. Here we will provide the username, right? Username, and this one will validate what is that by validating token, right? This one will validate token. This one will validate token. Once the token, once username is given by JWT token, communicate, right? Communicate with what? DB. Again, this one will communicate with what is that DB only, na? By taking the help of user detail service. Come on.
Yes, Ravi.
And what method in that user detail, what method it's calling now, friends? What method it's calling now? Come here, right? Come here, where we developed a service IMPL, right? Service IMPL. What method it's calling? Load by username, right? Hmm?
Yes, Ravi. Yes.
Come on. Yeah.
Yes.
So here what is that? Once user is given by what? JWT. JWT, then what? Then communicate 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 with what? With DB. Communicate with what? DB by using what is that? By using which one? Which class? Which interface now, friends? User detail, right?
User detail service.
Yes, Ravi. Yeah.
User detail service interface, right? In that one method is there. What is the method? It will call what is that? Method. That method is what is that? Load user, right? User by username, right? By username, right? Username, and its argument will take what is that? Username, right? Username. Then what will happen now? Then it will return what is that? Spring security, right? Spring security user object. Now, friends, come on. Then it will return what? Then that return what? That return spring what? Security user, right? Security user object. I'm talking about this one, friends, right? I'm talking about this one. This method is returning. What this method is returning? This one only, right? Come on, yaar.
Yes, Ravi. Yes.
I'm talking which things we developed
Yes.
already. I'm talking about that one only, friends, right? Because without this explanation, if I'm implement, right, it will become complicated, right? Complicated to understand the things, friends. Okay, that's why I'm explaining again and again. Otherwise, no need, because see, 3 to 4 hours continuously we are taking the session, right? So why I'm stressing again? I can escape it all. I don't have any issue to escape, right? And see, I can give the excuses also. Everything, so many things are there which I can deliver to you people. But why I'm just subject only delivering? Because I know the birth of this subject as well as what is that. Because the people are like trusting on me now. I don't want to break those things. That's why, friends. Okay, see,
Yes, Ravi.
we can't buy the trust by paying the money or by taking the money someone, right? So this is and even no need money. Okay, these things is unnecessary things, friends. Okay, but if you guys are believing on me now, so I don't want to escape, right? So those things only I'm explaining. Just respond it, friends. Okay, just respond it.
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah,
Please.
okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So that return what is that? Spring security object, right? That returns what? Security object. In case of session, by default, right? If in case of what is that? Session is by default, right? I'm talking about that. What is that? In case of session, right? Whenever the session is there, at the time, if the session is what is that? Default, then what is that? Security context object is created based on what is that? On form login, right? On form login. But here what is that? Here what is that? Concept is stateless, na, friend. Come on. But here what is that?
Yeah.
Stateless is can't what is the stateless? So there is a no session, right? There is a no session. So what we need to do, we have to create what is the security context object, which is null by default, friends, right? So right, this security context, right, whenever we will create, right, this one will by default will be null. This one by default will be null. We need to put the data, right, using what? Using which one? User password authentication token. Using what? User password authentication token, right? Come on, yaar.
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in case of what? In case of what? Session. In case of session, by default, what is that? Security context object is created on form login, right? Form login. By default it will create what? On form login. But what is that? But here what? Here concept is what is that? Stateless, right? Here concept is stateless, means what is that? No session, right? No session. So
Yeah.
we have what is that? So we have to create what is that? Security context object.
Context.
Security context object, and which is null by default, or default by default, right? Hey, what is? Okay, just default, right? Default, this one is a null, right? This one is a null. So first what we will do it now, how we can create these things now, how we can so we will create what is that? One object, right? Object by using the implementation class. By how we can create these things? We will create first what is that? Create first what is that? Authentication. Authentication, that is what? Interface. Then which help we will take? Which one help we will take? This is the object, right? Object. By using what is that? By using IMPL class help. What is the implementation class of that one now, friends? What is the implementation class of that one? This one only, right? Come on.
Username, password, authentication token.
Yeah, username, password, authentication. Then what is that? Then finally we will link. Then by taking the help of what is that? Then what we will do it now? Then finally we will link what is that? With what? With a security context. Finally we will link with what is that? Security security context, right? We will link with what is that? But the thing is, why? The question, anyone having the doubt, why security context, right? Every time you are talking about that, why security context, right? Yeah.
Yes, Ravi.
So the question is what? Let's take this one is a question format, right? So security context, right? Security context. Why this security context, right? Why it is needed? Okay, why it is needed? Why it is needed, right? Here, why it is needed here? The question is, right? So in case of what? In case of what? Stateless or stateful. Let's talk about first stateful, right? Stateful. In case of what? Stateful stateful means what is that? Stateful means what is that? Session. I'm talking about the session.
Yes,
It is created. It is created on what is that? On success. Successful, right? Let's take successful login. If successful login is there, then what is that? Session is created, right? Session is created, but what is that? This time what? This object is by if null, when this object is null, just assume that whenever we are putting the username, without username and password, what we are doing now, we are clicking on the login button, then what we are getting? That bad credential means what? Our front controller is returning what? 401 na, come on. Means what? Our front controller is rejecting in case of session. I'm talking about the session management. Sorry, whenever we are using the form login, right? At that time, what we are getting now, if we are not putting username and password and just we are clicking on the login button,
yes, Ravi. Yes,
Yes,
Yeah,
Ravi.
there we will be getting the session there.
null means what? The front controller is getting null means what? It's returning end user is getting what? End user is getting just what?
Yeah.
Invalid user, but the request is going to front controller like what? How it's going? Null value is going, nothing is going on, that's why it's returning that message na.
Yes, Ravi.
Hmm?
Yes, Ravi.
So then what is that? Then object, if object is null, then what? Then front controller, right? Then front controller is rejecting or reject what? Reject 401 right? Means what is that? Whom? For current request, right? For current request is if not null is there, right? If not null is there means if the username and password is there, else if what is that? If not null is there, if not null is there, then what is that? Request will process na. Come on, request is giving to whom? Given to front controller, right? Given to front controller, then what is that? After then what? It's returning that same things to whom? Web security configurer adapter also. Web security, where I'm writing, control shift T, web security adapter, right? Then it's returning what? The request will return to whom? After interacting with what? Front controller, it's returning what is that? Web security configurer adapter, right? Adapter. But in case of what? But in case of what? Stateless concept. But in case of stateless concept, we need to what? Create it manually. Whatever things is happening, right? Whatever things is happening in stateful application by default, those things we need to implement here explicitly, right? Explicitly, then our application will what? Work. Then our application will work. That's why what? Security concept, sorry, security context, right? That's why security context. Okay, so in case of, right? In case of what? In case of stateless, in case of what? Stateless concept. In case of stateless concept, what we need? What is that? We need what? To create, we need to create we need to create what? We need to create it what? It manually. It create manually before before going to front controller, before going to front controller, right? Before going to front controller. So how we can create these things, guys? How we can create like what this security context? We will take the help of what? We will take the help of what? Which class now? Which class now? We will take the help of what? Security context holder is there, right? Security context holder, right? Security context holder. Okay, this one only na. Yeah, security context holder. We will take the help of what? Security. Simple code I'm giving, friends. Okay, simple front. Now we are entering in the development area now. So we will take the help of what? Security context holder. In that, one method is there, right? In that, what is that? One method is there. Get context will be there. Get clear. Get context is there na? Come on.
Yes, Ravi.
Get context is there, right? And what is the return type? What is the return type, friends? Right? So we will,
Security context.
yeah. So we will call that dot get context method, right? We will call that what? Get context method, and it will return what? It will return same security context, right? It will return what is that?
Security context.
Security context, right? Security context, right? After taking this security context, what we will do it now, friends? What we will do it now? We will call what is that? Authentication. We will call what is that? Authentication. So authentication, we will call what is that? Authentication. In that authentication, what? Get authentication method is there, right? One get an authentication method is there. Control Shift T, or we can see here itself only. Strategy, it's implementation. 1 minute. Okay, Control Shift T, then it will return, right? What we will call, we will pass this context, then the context memory will create. Okay, so that one will be, so here here itself only get context method will be there. Clear? Get context is there, right? No, get authentication will be there. It will authenticate and will provide the context memory. Strategy, 1 minute. Get context holder strategy, this one isn't there. Get strategy name, right? No, this one we don't. Set context, it current thread execution. Okay, parameter context, no, this one is not. Authentication will be there. Yeah, get context holder we are taking. It will return, it should return get authentication, right? Because until unless if this class is not returning authentication, we can't perform the authentication operation, right? Strategy, that is the context. Exception, obtaining the current security context. Okay, current security context. Oh, this is the, I think, change. Get context, we will get the get context, right? Where it is, yeah. Set context, create empty context. No, this one isn't. It's not showing. Okay, no issue. At the development time again we will see that, right? So these are the working flow, and these are the working flow, and these are the components, friends. Okay, these are the components. So shall we develop the things now? Shall we develop?
Yes, Ravi.
Okay, Ravi.
Everyone, now friends, theory part is completed. Theory part is completed. Now we are entering inside that what? We are entering inside the development area, right? So,
Okay, Ravi.
yeah. So what we will do it now, friends? What we will do it now? Let's start developing these things, right? Let's start developing these things. So close everything because I don't want to create confusion, because our development is, I think, ready now. Okay. Okay, so now let's develop it. Right now, come here. First, what we need? First, what we need? We need, what is that? Security filter, our own class, right? Hmm?
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah. So now let's develop it. Right now, let's develop it. So what I'm going to do now? Right click, new, take one class, and here what we will do it now? Filter. Let's take what? Filter. Package name I'm taking what? Filter itself only, right? So here what is that? Let's take security filter. Security filter. Now finish. Security filter, right? Security filter. Okay. So make this one as a what? Component, right? Make this
Yes,
one as
Ravi.
what? Component. But what we need to do? What we need to do? We need to make a has a relation with what? Once per secure, once per request secure, once per request filter, right?
Yes, Ravi.
So here what we will do it now? Here we will extend, because that is the
Class.
extend. Extend what we will take it now?
Once
Once per
request.
request filter, na?
Yes, Ravi.
Now it's having what? One abstract method, alt shift s plus v. Multiple is there, multiple is there, but which one is our use? Which one we will use? Do filter internal, right?
Yes,
We will
Ravi.
override that one. We will override that method, right? Come on. Now
Yes, Ravi.
again, again, which one we need? We will make the has a relation with, has a relation with, what is that? JWT and the user details also, na? Come on.
Yes, Ravi.
Yes, yes.
User detail service, right? User detail service. Fine. So here
Fine.
private
User
JW
details, Ravi.
JWT util, right?
Yes, Ravi.
JWT util I'm taking. Okay. What we will apply on the top of? We will apply AutoWire. We will apply on the top of what? AutoWire, right?
Yes, Ravi.
Okay. Next one is what? Next one is what, friends? Private user
User
details service, right?
Yes, Ravi.
User details service, and we will take this one as a what? Copy this one again, the reference, make first letter as a small, that's it. And apply on the
Okay.
top AutoWire. Apply on the top of what? AutoWire, right? So now first step, what we will do it now, friends? First step, what we will do it now? Now come here. By taking the AutoWire, we will communicate with JWT, right?
Yes,
And
Ravi.
what we will read, what is the token from the request? We will read the token from the request header, na? Come on. Hmm?
Yes, Ravi.
Because request is coming from in the header section, right? Come on, in the request. Hmm?
Yes, Ravi.
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah. So now fine, friends. Okay, come inside that, right? Come here. Okay, so first step, what we will do it now? First step we will do read token. Read token from request. So Sudhir, are you there? Sudhir is there. Yeah,
Yeah,
read
he's
token.
there.
Yeah, is there, but
There,
okay.
Ravikant.
Read token from request, right? So how we can read it now, friends? So how we can read it now? How we can read the header from the request? So HTTP servlet request is there. I'm opening this implementation. So here, just if you see that,
Get header.
yeah, if you see that,
Get
what is
header.
that? Get header method is there, na? Come on.
Yes, Ravi.
So
Yes, Ravi, there.
we will take that, we will take that header, right? So
Yes,
now request dot
get header.
get header, request dot get header, right? What is the header? What header we will take? Because whenever we will send this, right, whenever we will send this, if you see this here, we will apply the, here we will apply, what is that?
Access type.
Authorization, right? We will apply this authorization. This one must match with this one. Okay, we will take that one, authorization, because that one only, authorization only will come in the header, right, as a token. So this one will return what? String token. Here we will get what is the token from the header section, right? Come on, here what we are getting, because authorization is token only, right? And we are reading that token from the header section here. Come on, friends, you are getting my point.
Yes, Ravi, getting.
Hmm?
Yes.
Yes, Ravi.
Then here itself only, but sometimes just this possibility is there, na? End user will not send the authorization. If end user not sending the authorization, for that purpose what we will do it now, we will check the condition, otherwise our application will fail, na? Come on,
Yes, Ravi.
token is not null, right? Token is
Yes,
not
Ravi.
null. Then go to what? JWT. Then go to JWT util. Then go to JWT util, right? So how we can check it? If condition we will take, right? We will take, what is that? If condition. How we can? If token, right?
Is
Token,
present.
if token not equal to null,
Okay.
not equal to null, right? Not equal to null, then what we will do it now?
Yes, Ravi.
Then we will perform the operation. What operation we will perform, friends? What operation we will perform? Third operation we will perform, like what? Third operation, to get, what is that? Get subject. Get subject,
Contact.
right? Subject is nothing but, what is that? Username, na?
Yes, Ravi.
Subject is nothing but what? Username. Username, right? So how we can get, so we will take the help of what? JWT reference, na?
JWT. Yes, Ravi.
Yeah, JWT dot what? JWT dot, what is that? Get
User.
get username, right?
Yes, sir.
And here what we will do it now? We will pass this token.
Okay.
We will pass this token, and here what we will get it now? Here what we will get it now,
String
friends?
type. String type
String
username. Username.
username, right? Good, good,
Yes,
good involvation, like, uh, what is that? Pankaj.
string. Yes, sir.
Right, so string username, we are getting, what is that here? What? Username. After then what? Again we will communicate with what? After then what we will do it now? We will communicate with what?
Password.
Database, man. Database. Then we will communicate with database
Okay,
using,
sir.
by taking the help of what? User detail, na? Hmm?
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
User detail service.
User detail service, right? User detail service. But before that, what we need? Before that, what we need? Because this is the stateless application now, to process that things, what we need?
security context.
User password authentication
User
token we need.
password authentication.
Okay, okay. Token user.
Okay. User password authentication.
Yeah, so here two things we will complete, we will done, right? Here we will do, what is the two things? What first, what is that? Let's take fourth step. We will done, what we will do? Communicate communicate with what is that, with a DB, communicate with a DB using what, using username, using what, username, right, using what, username. And the second step what, second one is what, get spring security, get spring security, right, security
User.
using sorry, get security user,
User.
user object, right. Good, good,
Yes.
good. So now here we will get what is that, security object, right. So in case of some time, what is that, at the getting, we will get what is that, username also can be, in case of can be null, right. Hmm?
Yeah, that may be not available in the
Not available,
Yes,
right,
Ravi.
can be. So again we will check the condition, right, again we will check the condition here, right. What will be now, what will be now, so username, right, username, I'm taking what is that, username not equal to null,
Not equal to null.
right, not equal to null. Then what we will do it now, friends, then we will perform what is that, then we will perform what, then we will perform which operation we will perform it now. First, which operation we will perform now, user detail service operation, right. Hmm?
Yes.
User
Yes,
service.
sir.
So how we can perform this user detail service operation, we will take the help of what is that, because we already
User.
auto wired, right.
Yes.
Yeah, we already auto wired dot, then we will call what is that, load method, right. Come on, we will call what is that, load user. Yeah, and here what we will do it now, we will pass this username, we will pass this username as argument, and this one will return what now, friends, what we will get here now.
Username is spelling is
Username is spelling
username
mistake, Ravi.
is spelling
Okay, no issue, copy this one, paste here itself only, and make this one also.
is
Now fine, right.
yes, sir.
Okay, so here this one will return what, this one will return what is that.
String type username.
Hmm? Then here
String,
it will,
string type
no, this one will return what is that, user details object, this one will return what is that, user details object. Come on, you want to see
entire
that.
object. Yeah. Yes,
Hmm?
sir. Entire object.
Yeah.
Entire
Entire
object,
object.
Hmm.
Okay.
right. Hmm?
Yes, sir.
Something wrong is going on, everything is fine, yeah.
Fine, Ravi. Fine, Ravi.
Fine, Ravi.
After loading that, we are getting the user detail, right.
User object. Yes, sir.
Yeah, user detail, right, user detail as a what, user. After then what we are getting now, we are getting user details, right, user details, users. Okay, after the next what we will do it now, friends. Hmm? by taking
Password.
by taking that, what we will do it now, we will validate that token now. Come on, for then after what we need to validate the token also, right. Hmm? Because here we are getting, after getting that username, we need to validate, otherwise how we can perform the operation, no. So the question is how we can, if we are validating here, then the problem will be there. So again we need to check the again condition. Hmm? So in the util class, right, already for validating, come in the util class, what is that, we wrote what is that, validating token method, right. Why we wrote, for that purpose only. So now here what is that, validate token method we wrote na. It's asking what is that, two argument, right. It's asking what is that, two argument. Let's call that one first. Okay,